Call this business meeting to order. Today we're going to consider two bills. S-1579, this bill will be entitled the Native Act, and H.R. 487, an act to allow the Miami Tribe of Oklahoma to lease or transfer certain lands. S-1579 is intended to increase federal coordination of programs that supports the tourism industry in Native communities. H.R. 487 responds to a need identified by the Miami Tribe of Oklahoma. This bill releases any requirement for federal approval on the conveyance of fee simple land owned by the tribe to third parties. It does not impact any trust lands. Senator Tester, do you have an opening statement?
It's going to be a short one, Mr. Chairman. I just want to thank you for bringing these two bills up. Very much appreciate it. The only question I would have is on H.R. 487, and I know we did this last year, I think, to a tribe in Minnesota, gave them the authority to sell or transfer fee simple lands. It's still amazing to me that they don't have that ability, period, all tribes. So, just moving forward, maybe we ought to think about that going forward. If it's not clear, we could clarify it, but I certainly support the two bills that are up today. Thank you.
Any other members want to make any statements regarding this? I know we have a couple of members that are still on their way because of the two votes. Only one was scheduled, and the second is dragged on a little bit. So we'll now take up 1579, the Native Act, on June 16th of 2015, Senator Schatz introduced S-1579. On September 30th, he asked the committee to take up the bill at a business meeting. The 113th Congress, this committee held a June 25th, 2014 oversight hearing entitled Economic Development Encouraging Investment in Indian Country. Testimony was received on concepts addressed in the draft Native Act during that hearing. There had been one amendment filed to this bill. Any members like to make any specific statements regarding S-1579, and we'll reserve time for Senator Schatz when he arrives. No. I had previously filed an amendment to S-1579. That amendment was JAC 15C32. However, I'm withdrawing my amendment at this time. There being we're right at that point where I'd like to call on the sponsor of the bill with regard to S-1579 for any additional comments in this bill for which we've heard no opposition raised at all today. Senator Schatz.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thanks for waiting. I want to thank Senators Barrasso and Tester for holding this meeting and for moving the native bill through the committee expeditiously. And I want to thank all of the bipartisan sponsors, particularly the 6 colleagues on this committee. I thank you for your support. I look forward to working with you on getting it through the Senate floor.
Great. Being no further amendments, I move this bill S-1579 be passed. Do I have a sufficient second? Yes. Is there any discussion? Being no further discussion, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, nay. The ayes do have it. In the opinion of the chair, the bill S-1579 passes. We'll now take up H.R. 487, an act to allow the Miami Tribe of Oklahoma to lease or transfer certain lands. H.R. 487 would allow the tribe to lease or transfer land that it owns in fee simple without further congressional approval. It is not intended to affect any trust lands. On January 22nd, 2015, Representative Mullen from Oklahoma introduced H.R. 487. On June 10th, the House Natural Resource Subcommittee on Indian, Insular, and Alaskan Native Affairs held a hearing on the bill. H.R. 487 passed the House of Representatives September 16th and was referred to the Senate Committee on Indian Affairs. The administration and the tribe testified in support of H.R. 487 earlier this Congress. No amendments were filed. Any members like to make a specific statement regarding H.R. 487 at this time? I will reserve time for Senator Lankford to give a statement. He was here earlier and ended up leaving to vote. He was here between the votes and then went back to the floor to vote, so he's already been present. I move the bill H.R. 487 be passed. Do I have a sufficient second? Any discussion? There being no further discussion, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? In the opinion of the chair, the bill H.R. 487 passes. I want to thank the members for getting this business of our committee completed expeditiously today. I ask unanimous consent the staff be allowed to make technical and conforming changes. There being no further business before the committee, the meeting is adjourned.